Okay? And then you go on with pass. All right? So pull. You're going to pull this pin here. All right? This moves, but this is not, I'm sorry. This moves, but this is not going to expel the chemical. Okay? You have to press the top in order for the lever down here to actually activate and for the chemical to be expelled. All right? All right, now, aim. P-A, aim. Okay, so you want to aim at the base of the fire. Everybody looked at fire, you see the fingers, you know, they're kind of spontaneous with where they're at. They're here, the 1 minute, they're there the next minute. You want to aim directly at the base of the fire. That's going to be the constant part of the fire. Okay, we tell you before you aim, do a little test squeeze off to the side. Make sure you have some chemical, because if you don't have any chemical, get out. You know, make sure nobody's coming around, and you know, 911 will be on the way. If you're in a group, you have a couple people there, or a friend there. Hey Jay, go call 911. You grab your extinguisher. Now you know that 911 is on its way. Make sure you know Jay comes back to tell you, hey, I called 911. They're on the way. Because how many times has this happened? Couldn't even tell you. Hey, call 911. Everybody looks at everybody. Oh, Jay will call 911. Jim will call 911, you know? Delegate somebody. Jay, call 911. Come back to me when you call. Okay? Are you going to call on a cell phone? If that's your last resort, yes. If you have a landline that you can get to, call that. Call off that. Why? Because if you have a cell phone, that's going to go to CHP. And CHP will route you to your district or your fire department. Call from a landline that's going directly to your district. Okay, not too many people know that. Right? So aim at the base of the fire. Squeeze. So like I said, this part does not move. This is the part that's gonna expelling the chemical. You squeeze that all the way, and you know, sweep is the next one. Sweep side to side in aggressive fashion. Okay, we're gonna be doing electronic bullet system today. I don't have real fire. It's a pain in the butt to carry around, diesel fuel. You know, we're going green, I guess you could say, you know, with this electronic system. So it's going to be a laser with a 42-inch screen that we're going to be putting out our magical fire. Okay, so make sure your sweep is not a sweep that's, you know, nice and side to side. It's an aggressive sweeping, slowly moving in, which we'll get to that here right now. Make sure the pin's pulled. That's the number one thing. I've seen trainings, I've seen real life. I've done it the first time when I was a kid, you know, learning how to use an extinguisher. Boom, long won't it go? You know, the person's just laughing at me. Hey, hold the pen. Okay, there you go. So, you know, and try to calm yourself if a fire breaks out, you know, because you are going to be panicked. You're not going to know exactly what to do, and that's okay. You're not trained on that. Hopefully now, after today, you will feel comfortable to use an extinguisher if the fire is small enough. Okay? So test the extinguisher like I said. Size up the fire. If you think it's too big, please step aside. Make sure 911's on the way. Yeah?
Fire extinguishers are okay to use on electrical fires?
Yes. Every fire extinguisher, these particular fire extinguishers are. Like I said, you got a bunch of different extinguishers out there. On every single extinguisher, it says down here at the bottom or somewhere on there, if you look at it, it says A, B, and C. And it has a picture of a trash can and some wood burning. For A, for B, it has some gasoline burning, and C, it shows a plug going into a wall with flames around it. So it'll tell you which one that each extinguisher can fight. There's CO2 extinguishers out there. There's cartridge activating extinguishers, which is identical to this, except it has a cartridge on the side that has pressure in the cartridge, but not in the cylinder itself. You have to push the cartridge and then go. You have water extinguishers, you have halon extinguishers. This is a dry chem extinguisher, so they're all out there. But they will tell you specifically what fires they can handle. Okay? Be upwind if you're outside. If you're outside and there's a trash can fire, or you know somebody's on fire, you know, make sure you're upwind, because the last thing you want to do is the wind blowing in your face and you're spraying it. Now you have that smoke coming in your face as well as the chemical. Okay? Any questions? All right, you want to start, we say 8 to 10 feet back from the fire, no more than 6 feet. So you're back, you're fighting, you're sweeping, you're slowly walking forward, and once you get to about 6 feet, stop, because you have no idea what that fire can do. Hopefully 6 feet. If it's a flammable liquid, we've seen, I was at a fire in Hayward, that a propane tank, we literally donned our breathing apparatus, we tightened it up, we threw our helmets on, turned around to say water, next thing you know, big old giant fireball and an explosion came up. Why? Because there was paint and gasoline and whatever other chemicals were in that storage room. You know, so we're lucky that we weren't there a minute ahead of time, because we would have been in there. So, you know, 6 feet from just a trash can fire, that's plenty close. Okay, you don't want to get any closer than that. Keep your eye on the extinguisher at all, or on the fire at all times. Like I said, it's unpredictable. You have no idea what's going to happen with it. Don't turn your back. We've heard stories of people having a kitchen fire, putting out the fire, turning around to grab their kids to get them out. As they're walking out, their whole kitchen's up in flames again. Okay, so make sure you keep an eye on it if you can. Use all the extinguisher. Once you use a little bit, it's no good. You know, you're not going to put it back in your holder. You're not going to reuse it for the next fire. You're going to recycle it, get a new one, waste the whole thing. Okay? So we already talked about a couple other extinguishing agents. Baking soda.
Only up to $100.
He didn't need my time, did he?
This was a, no.
He didn't need my time, right? Come on.
8.0.